Hello learners! Welcome to our MAPEH class. I am Teacher Clark, your MAPEH teacher, and I am glad to be with you for our video lesson full of learning and fun. Before we start, please find a comfortable space in your respective houses. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our learning session. For our lesson for this session, we will be talking about prevention of substance use and abuse, specifically in cigarette smoking. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to describe the harmful short-term and long-term effects of cigarette smoking on the different parts of the body, discuss the dangers of mainstream, second-hand and third-hand smoke, and explain the impact of cigarette smoking in the family, environment, and in the community. Alright, at this time, we'll be having our first activity. This activity has two parts. The first part is multiple choices, which is 5 items, and the second part is a true or false, which is 10 items. From the given activity sheets I sent to you via messenger in our group chat attached to this video lesson, all you have to do is to listen, analyze each statement. I will be reading the statement twice, so kindly listen carefully. So, are you ready, learners? If yes, then get your paper or activity sheets and pen so that we can start with our first activity. Part 1, multiple choices. Direction. Read and answer each statement. Select the letter of the best answer from the among given choices. Number 1. Blank is a plant whose leaves can be rolled in a cigar or pipe and can be smoked. A. Marijuana plant. B. Tobacco plant. C. Opium. Or D. Cigarette. Again. A. Marijuana plant. B. Tobacco plant. C. Opium. Or D. Cigarette. Number 2. How many chemicals may come into a smoker person each time he or she pops a cigarette? A. 4. B. 400. C. 4,000. Or D. 40,000. Again, how many chemicals may come into a smoker person each time he or she pops a cigarette? A. 4. B. 400. C. 4,000. Or D. 40,000. Number 3. Which of the following is not considered as a harmful effects of cigarette smoking? A. Muscle pain. B. Body pain. C. Bad breath. Or D. Fresh breath. Again, which of the following is not considered as a harmful effects of cigarette smoking? A. Muscle pain. B. Body pain. C. Bad breath. Or D. Fresh breath. Number 4. Which of the following choices are perceived to be gateway drugs? A. Shabu and marijuana. B. Marijuana and alcohol. C. Cigarettes and alcohol. Or D. None of these. Again, which of the following are perceived to be gateway drugs? A. Shabu and marijuana. B. Marijuana and alcohol. C. Cigarettes and alcohol. Or D. None of these. Number 5. Blank is the addictive chemical in smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. A. Caffeine. B. Toxins. C. Nicotine. Or D. Additives. Again, blank is the addictive chemical in smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. A. Caffeine. B. Toxins. C. Nicotine. Or D. Additives. Okay, let's proceed to our part 2, the true or false. Instruction. Write true if the statement is true and false if otherwise. I will be reading the statement twice, so please listen carefully. Number 1. cigarette smoking causes environmental pollution. Again, cigarette smoking causes environmental pollution. Number 2, there are more than 4,000 chemicals may enter into a smoker person each time he or she pops a cigarette. Again, there are more than 4,000 chemicals may enter into a smoker person each time he or she pops a cigarette. Number 3, major deforestations are possible in planting tobacco plants. Again, major deforestations are possible in planting tobacco plants. Number 4, the longer cigarette smoke stays in the body, the more it causes damage to body parts. Again, the longer cigarette smoke stays in the body, the more it causes damage to body part. Number 5, cancer, heart diseases, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease are just some of the diseases caused by cigarette smoking. Again, cancer, heart diseases, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease are just some of the diseases caused by the cigarette smoking. Number 6, secondhand smoke is dangerous to one's health. Again, secondhand smoke is dangerous to one's health. Number 7, smoking inside the school premises is a violation of Republic Act 9211. Again, smoking inside the school premises is a violation of Republic Act 9211. Number 8, cigarette smoking and use of smokeless tobacco kills thousands of Filipinos every year. Again, cigarette smoking and use of smokeless tobacco kills thousands of Filipinos every year. Number 9, the longer cigarette smoke stays in the body, the more it causes damage to body parts. And number 10, last number, cigarette smoking is not dangerous to our health. Again, cigarette smoking is not dangerous to our health. Okay, how did you find the activity? What is your basis in coming up with your answers? Okay, now let us check your answers. Okay, for multiple choices, answers. Number 1, letter B. Number 2, letter C. For number 3, letter C. For number 4, letter C. And for number 5, letter C. Okay, for part 2, the true or false. For statement number 1, the correct answer is true. For item number 2, yes, it's false. For number 3, true. And for number 4, true. For number 5, still, it's true. And for number 6, yes, you're correct. It's true. For number 7, it's true. And for number 8, again, it's true. And for number 9, yes, it's true. And for the item number 10, yes, it's false. Okay, kindly record your scores. Were you able to relate this activity to our topic? How does this activity relate to our lesson of this session? You will find out later. So now, let us discuss our topic. Okay, learners, let us now proceed to our lesson for this session, which is the prevention of substance use and abuse, specifically in cigarette smoking. But before that, let us watch these video clips about gateway drug, anti-illegal drug, and smoke campaign.
Ang usok ng sigarilyo ay may mahigit sa 4,000 delikadong kemikal. Kaya pati ang walang kamalay-malay nadadamay, unti-unti pinapatay. Say no to secondhand smoke. Isang babala mula sa DOH.
Maaga akong naghahanda. Pero hindi para pumasok sa eskwela. Simula na magka-cancer si tatay dahil sa paninigarilyo, huminto na ako sa pag-aaral para magtinda at tulungan si nanay. Ang hirap ng buhay pag kami lang ni nanay. Paano na ngayon ang kinabukasan ko?
Mahalin ang sarili at pamilya. Paninigarilyo, itigil na!
Hindi po.
Hindi po.
Never.
Hindi po.
Hindi mo naman siya kailangan subukan para malaman kung masama ba siya talaga.
Ang dami nang nasirang buhay dahil dun.
Marami pa akong pangarap sa buhay na gusto ko to pa rin lahat.
Sa akin, wala talagang magandang maidudulot yun.
When I was young, I was taught that drugs were bad.
It's easy to say no pag alam mong masama.
Pag ginawa mo yun, hindi lang naman yung sarili mo sinasaktan mo eh. Hindi pati yung pamilya mo.
Protektahan nila yung sarili nila, sila mismo lumayo dun sa tukso ng droga.
Wag. Wag.
Wag.
Wag.
Wag.
Wag.
Iwasan mo ang droga, huwag mong subukan. Masisira ang buhay mo at sa huli ang bayan.
Alright, the video is all about anti-illegal drug and smoke campaign. So what is gateway drugs? And what are the examples of gateway drugs? Gateway drugs are substances such as cigarettes and alcohol that are known to be legal drugs that teenagers most commonly try and lead him or her to use dangerous drugs such as marijuana, shabu, meth, and cocaine. So learners, here are the examples of gateway drugs, the cigarettes and alcohol. These two are readily available and generally accepted in our society today, regardless of the price, to satisfy their desire and several purposes. Okay, what is cigarettes? Are you familiar with this? Have you experienced buying it in a store? Since cigarettes and alcohol are readily available and generally accepted in our society, many people use them for various purposes. Teenagers like you are especially vulnerable because you are more curious and risk takers. According to the study done by the National Youth Commission, 2 out of 5 Filipino teenagers aged 13 to 15 years old smoke cigarettes. Furthermore, in a study conducted by Anti-Tobacco Group in the year 2011, 10 Filipinos die every hour because of tobacco-related diseases. Health experts explained that the continuous increase in a cigarette use and alcohol consumption by Filipino teenagers is due to its very cheap price. So many pro-health groups are now asking the government to increase taxes of cigarette and alcohol prices in our country. Do you have an idea on the price of cigarette per pack as of this moment? Are you familiar with the electronic cigarette and the vape? Under Republic Act number 11346 or the Tobacco Tax Law of 2019, cigarette excise will rise to 50 pesos per pack effective on January 1, 2021 from 45 per pack last year. So for e-cigarettes or electronic cigarettes, according to Republic Act number 11467 signed by the President Duterte last year, will impose an excise tax of 27.50 pesos for every pack of heated tobacco products in 2021 from 25 pesos in a pack in 2020. The impacts need a thorough understanding on how these substances can lead into a negative impact both in short and long-term effects in the body. In it, we have to discuss and focus in cigarette smoking. As such, despite the harmful health impact of cigarette smoking, and the government's effort to raise its price higher than what is usual, Filipino, specifically teenagers, still find ways to acquire and mindful of the expenses they incurred during consumption of this smoking. Thus, in its quest to curb it, the government further imposes restrictions on cigarette smoking and alcohol drinking in all public places. Much from this topic will be discussed to minimize the depraved habits of most of the Filipinos. Smoking is a practice in which a cigarette is burned and resulting smoke is breathed in to be tasted and absorbed into the bloodstream. Cigarettes are a small roll of porous paper. Nicotine is the stimulant substance present in tobacco plants. So here are the short-term effects of smoking. Bad breath, momentary stimulation followed by a state of withdrawal and reduced brain activity. Fatigue and dizziness. Dulling the senses of taste and smell. Coughing. Shortness of breath. Increased blood pressure. Increased heart rate. Decreased blood flow. And headache. So now, here are the long-term effects of smoking. First, high blood. It is too much exertion of blood against arteries causing damage. Next, heart disease. Involves the cardiovascular system. Third, emphysema. The damages air sacs in the lungs. Fourth, pneumonia. Infection of the lungs. And last, asthma. A chronic disease which affects the airways. And also, cancer. So cancer is one of the most feared smoking effects. So here are some of the body areas where smoking-related cancers can occur. First, lung cancer. Second, bladder cancer. Third, blood cancer in the form of leukemia. Next, cervix cancer. Colon and rectum cancer, esophagus cancer, breast cancer, kidney cancer, larynx cancer, liver cancer, pancreas cancer, stomach cancer, throat and tongue cancer, tonsils cancer, trachea cancer, and eye problems. Okay, now learners, let's move on to the policies and laws regarding cigarette smoking. So the first is the Republic Act 9211, or otherwise the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003, the law governing tobacco production, distribution, and use. So section number 5, smoking ban in public places such as play schools, preparatory schools, elementary schools, high schools, colleges, and universities, youth hostels, recreational facilities. Also in building and premises of public and private hospitals, medical, dental, and optical clinics, health centers, nursing homes, and laboratories. So public conveyances and public facilities including airport and ship terminals, train, bus station, restaurants, and conference hall, except for separate smoking areas. Location with fire hazards like gas stations, storage areas for flammable liquids, gas, explosives, or combustible materials. Section number 9, the minimum age sales. Under this act, it shall be unlawful for any retailer of tobacco products to sell or distribute tobacco products to any minor persons below 18 years of age. Section number 10, the sale of tobacco products within school perimeters. The sale or distribution of tobacco products is prohibited within 100 meters from any point of the perimeter of the school, playground, or other facility frequented particularly by minors. Next, Republic Act number 8749, or also known as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, smoking inside a public vehicles and other means of transport or in any enclosed area outside or one's private residence, private place of work, or any duly designated smoking area is hereby prohibited under this Act. This provision shall be implemented by the local government units. Okay, for our next activity, all you must do is to arrange the rambled words found in the boxes. Kindly read the hint statement below each boxes for you to have a clue. Write your answers in the answer sheets that I sent to you in our messenger group chat or attached to this video lesson. I will flash and read each hint statement twice. I will give you 60 seconds only per item. So we have here 9 items, and after 10 minutes, I will reveal immediately the answers. So learners, are you ready? Then let's begin. Activity number 2. Text Twister. Direction. The following are known to be the dangers of cigarette smoking and tobacco use. Arrange the letter for each item to decipher the words. A hint is provided below the boxes. For item number 1, the hint is too much exertion of blood against the arteries causing damage. Again, too much exertion of blood against the arteries causing damage. Item number 2. Hint. It involves the cardiovascular system. Again, it involves the cardiovascular system. Item number 3. Hint. What cigarette smoke can do to your body smell? Again, what cigarette smoke can do to your body smell? its foul smell exhaled from the mouth. Again, its foul smell exhaled from the mouth. For item number 5, the hint is inflammation of the airways from the trachea into the lungs. Again, inflammation of the airways from the trachea into the lungs. Item number 6, damaged air sacs in the lungs. Again, damaged air sacs in the lungs. For item number 7, hint, infection of the lungs. Again, infections of the lungs. For number 8, a chronic disease which affects the airways. Again, the chronic disease which affects the airways. For the last item, number 9, group of diseases which makes body cells grow uncontrollably. Again, group of diseases which make body cells grow uncontrollably. Alright, learners, let us check your answer. For item number 1, the correct answer is high blood pressure. For item number 2, the correct answer is heart diseases. For item number 3, the correct answer is it's foul body smell. For item number 4, it's bad breath. And for number 5, it's bronchitis. For number 6, it's emphysema. And for item number 7, the correct answer is pneumonia. And for item number 8, the correct answer is asthma. And for the last item number 9, the correct answer is cancer. Alright, I am sure you got a high score for this activity. Good job, learners. It only proved that you are attentive in our discussion. Congratulations! In activity 1 and 2, you were able to gain some ideas of harmful effects of smoking and a view about reasons why people engage such. The following discussion will further enhance your knowledge by knowing the 3 smokes produced by the cigarette smoking. So there are 3 smokes produced by cigarette smoking, namely mainstream smoke, side stream smoke, and the third-hand smoke. So let's discuss first the mainstream smoke. Mainstream smoke refers specifically to the smoke that a smoker directly inhales. Side stream smoke, the smoke that comes out of the lighted end of a cigarette or pipe. This is also called second-hand smoke or environmental tobacco smoke. So this is more dangerous than a mainstream smoke because it is not filtered and it is easily absorbed by body cells. It also contains more carcinogens. It contains more carcinogens or a chemical that can cause cancer. Last is the third-hand smoke. Smoke left for a long time on a sofa, beddings, pillow, and other objects. This smoke, also called residual tobacco smoke, it settles along with dust and can be last for months. This smoke still contains harmful chemicals and carcinogens. So why is cigarette addictive and harmful? So cigarette or tobacco smoke contains more than 4,000 different chemical compounds that are present in a solid phase, the gas phase, or the liquid phase. The chemical that make up the solid phase are tiny solid particles, including phenols, nicotine, and naphthalene. The major gases include carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, and hydrogen cyanide, and liquid vapors include formaldehyde, methane, benzene, ammonia, and acetone. The majority of these chemicals come from burning tobacco, and the rest are mixtures of chemicals from the burning of the cigarette's paper and the additives and agricultural chemicals left from farming the tobacco leaves. Do you have an idea on how smoking can affect our family, community, and in our environment? So these are the impact of cigarette smoking on the family, environment, and community. First, in family, increase the risk of developing air infections, asthma, and other breathing complications like cough, shortness of breath, and even bronchitis. Children who grow up watching their parents smoke are also more likely to become smokers as teens. The lungs and heart of all family members in our home are put at risk by secondhand smoke. So no matter how wide you keep the windows open or how many fans you make use of. So in co-workers, smoking can decrease your productivity on the job. Plus all those potential medical complications linked to smoking, like heart disease, diabetes, and reduced immune function can cause more time off than a non-smoking colleague. In neighbors, secondhand smoke contains over 7,000 chemicals. 100 of them are toxic and 70 have been shown to cause cancer in humans. Breathing in secondhand smoke, whether it's from neighbors burning cigarette or cigarette outside your window, has been shown to have instant effects on the cardiovascular system of nearby individuals. So, here are the cigarette smoking environmental impacts. Cigarette smoking causes environmental pollution by releasing toxic air pollutants into the atmosphere. The cigarette butts also litter the environment, and the toxic chemicals remain seeped into soil and waterways, therefore causing soil and water pollution respectively. So here are other environmental impacts of cigarette smoking. First is deforestation. Second is the generation of the huge amount of toxic waste. Third is the soil and land pollution through farming and cigarette butts. Fourth is the air pollution through smoking. Fifth is the cigarette butts and the contamination or waterways. Sixth is the impact of aquatic fish. Seven is the health impacts on pets. And last, the forest fire or wildfires. What have you learned about our lesson for this session? So what are the learnings have you gained in our lesson and how you will apply this learning in our present situation? Gateway drugs open doors for non-drug user to try and experiment on more dangerous and illegal drugs. Despite the total ban on cigarette advertisements, more and more Filipinos, including teenagers like you, are getting hooked on this vice. Cigarettes was not new to the old world. American Indians smoked during rituals and special occasions. The tobacco plant Nicotiana tobacco is the commercially recognized source of cigarettes nowadays. Nicotine is the addictive substance found in tobacco products. Cigarette smoke is known to be contain more than 4,000 chemicals which have no health benefits. Some of the effects or dangers of smoking are bad health, body odor, heart diseases, hypertension, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and cancer. So there are 3 smoke produced by cigarettes. Mainstream smoke, which is the smoke inhaled by the smokers. Side stream smoke, which is inhaled by non-smokers. And third-hand smoke, which stays on bed sheets, clothes, and other objects. All of these smokes are dangerous. In the Philippines, Republic Act 9211 or also called as the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003, governs tobacco use. Another law, Republic Act 8749, states that smoking in public places and public conveyances is prohibited. Okay, for our last activity for this session, you are going to answer another 15-item multiple choices quiz. Instruction: read and understand the statement carefully. Select the letter of the best answers from among the given choices. I will read the statement twice, so kindly listen carefully. Number 1. Cigarette smoking primarily affects the blank system. A. Respiratory system. B. Nervous system. C. Cardiovascular system. Or D. Brain. Again, cigarette smoking primarily affects the blank system. A. Respiratory system. B. Nervous system. C. Cardiovascular system. Or D. Brain. Number 2. Which of the following choices are perceived to be gateway drugs? A. Shabu and marijuana. B. Marijuana and alcohol. C. Cigarettes and alcohol. Or D. None of these. Again, which of the following choices are perceived to be the gateway drugs? A. Shabu and marijuana. B. Marijuana and alcohol. C. Cigarettes and alcohol. Or D. None of these. Number 3. Blank is the addictive chemical in smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. A. Caffeine. B. Toxin. C. Nicotine. Or D. Additives. Again, blank is the addictive chemical in smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. A. Caffeine. B. Toxins. C. Nicotine. Or D. Additives. Number 4. Blank is a plant whose leaves can be rolled in a cigar or pipe and can be smoked. A. Marijuana plant. B. Tobacco plant. C. Opium. Or D. Cigarette. Again, blank is a plant whose leaves can be rolled in a cigar or pipe and can be smoked. A. Marijuana plant. B. Tobacco plant. C. Opium. Or D. Cigarette. Number 5. A kind of smoke emitted by cigarettes which smokers directly inhale is called A. Mainstream smoke. B. Second-hand smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Again, a kind of smoke emitted by cigarettes which smokers directly inhale is called A. Mainstream smoke. B. Second-hand smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Number 6. Blank are drugs that a non-drug users might try out and can lead to trying more dangerous ones. A. Prohibited drugs. B. Gateway drugs. C. Shabu. Or D. Cocaine. Again, blank are drugs that a non-drug users might try out and lead to trying more dangerous ones. A. Prohibited drugs. B. Gateway drug. C. Shabu. Or D. Cocaine. Number 7. Blank is a group of diseases which makes body cells grow uncontrollably. A. Pneumonia. B. Asthma. C. Cancer. Or D. Stroke. Again, blank is a group of diseases which makes body cells grow uncontrollably. A. Pneumonia. B. Asthma. C. Cancer. Or D. Stroke. Number 8. A dangerous smoke left on objects like sofa, beddings, and clothes. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Again, it is a dangerous smoke left on objects like sofa, beddings, and clothes. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Number 9. An alkaloid poison found in tobacco and used in medicine and as an insecticide. The main ingredient in cigarettes. Again, number 9. An alkaloid poison found in tobacco and used in medicine and as insecticide, and it also called the main ingredients in cigarettes. A. Carbons. B. Methanol. C. Nicotine. Or D. Carcinogen. Again, A. Carbons. B. Methanol. C. Nicotine. Or D. Carcinogen. Number 10. Finely grounded and processed tobacco wrapped in a special paper for smoking. A. Cigarette. B. Alcohol. C. Carcinogen. Or D. Tolerance. Again, it is a finely grounded and processed tobacco wrapped in a special paper for smoking. A. Cigarette. B. Alcohol. C. Carcinogen. Or D. Tolerance. Item number 11. The filtered smoke directly inhaled by the smoker. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Again, the filtered smoke directly inhaled by the smoker. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. None of these. Number 12. The smoke that comes out of the lighted end of cigarette or pipe, and it is also called as secondhand smoke or environmental smoke. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. RT smoke. Again, it is the smoke that comes out of the lighted end of a cigarette or pipe and also called as secondhand smoke or environmental tobacco smoke. A. Side stream smoke. B. Mainstream smoke. C. Third-hand smoke. Or D. RT smoke. Number 13. The law governing tobacco production, distribution, and use, otherwise known as the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003. A. Republic Act 8749. B. Republic Act 10627. C. Republic Act 9211. Or D. PD 8749. Again, it is the law governing tobacco production, distribution, and use, otherwise known as the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003. A. Republic Act 8749. B. Republic Act 10627. C. Republic Act 9211. Or D. PD 8749. Okay, number 14. How many chemicals may come into a smoker person each time he or she puffs a cigarette? A. 4. B. 400. C. 4,000. Or D. 40,000. Again, how many chemicals may come into a smoker person each time he or she puffs a cigarette? A. 4. B. 400. C. 4,000. Or D. 40,000. Okay, last item, number 15. Which of the following is considered as a chronic disease which affects the airways? A. Cancer. B. Hypertension. C. Mouth cancer. Or D. Asthma. Again, which of the following is considered as a chronic disease which affects the airways? A. Cancer. B. Hypertension. C. Mouth cancer. Or D. Asthma. Okay, for your additional activity entitled Anti-Smoking Campaign, using any available materials, you're going to choose among the following activities which is more convenient for you. First, song composition. You're going to compose a song about anti-smoking campaign and perform or sing the song. Record your performance with costume and send or submit it in our group chat. Second, poster making. You're going to create and draw a poster in any size of cardboard about anti-illegal drugs and smoke campaign. Write a brief explanation on it and take a picture of your poster and your explanation and send or submit it in our group chat. And last is the interpretative dance. You're going to create a 3-minute dance presentation using any music that could be used as an anti-illegal drug and smoke campaign. Record your performance with costume and submit it in our group chat. Your performance will be rated by the following rubrics. For song composition, for poster making, and for interpretative dance. And for your another additional activity, please write your reflections or comments about anti-illegal drugs and smoke campaign of Department of Health by following the link. Item number 1, Liwanag, the winner of Best Short Film 2016. And for item number 2, the Best Anti-Smoking Commercial. Write your answer in the activity sheets and send it in our group chat. You are given 5 days to submit your respective outputs. I understand that as a teenagers like you are more curious in so many things, but please bear in mind that not all things that you might think that you can try on, specifically in cigarette smoking. Especially in our current situation right now, we are in a pandemic with COVID-19. And you must take care of your health, boost your immune system so that you can fight back with different viruses. After knowing and gaining knowledge and information about the danger of smoking, the decision whether to smoke or not lies in your hands. Think of your future and your family. Think of your environment, your community, and your country. Apply what you have learned from this session and you can never go wrong in your decision. Okay, and that's the end of our session. I hope you learned something in our discussion and apply it in your daily lives. So take care, God bless, and stay healthy.